so my name's Nicole, and when I was about 14, I had a pretty crazy injury happen to me at a show. My brother was actually having a house show, and it was September 8th, 2012. Projections and Prestige were actually touring and playing that night, and I believe Prestige was playing while the injury happened, and the guitarist from Projections was thrown down. I believe he was windmilling, and he kind of accidentally hit me in the face. A lot of people told me it was his elbow, but a lot of people told me it was his fist, and I'm not exactly sure. But moral of the story, he hit me in the face. And instantly, I grabbed my face and ran out, even though I did not feel it because my adrenaline was running pretty well. I didn't feel really anything, but I could tell my face was getting a lot fatter pretty fast. So I ran out and went to my mom, and I was freaking out, I didn't know what it looked like or anything. And he ran out too, but he looked like he was just about to leave. But I believe he was just stressed and he was worried and he felt really bad. And my brother ran out after him, about to fight him. And but eventually, we found out it was just an accident, and he walked over to me and he apologized multiple times and felt really, really bad. And it was okay, but it was pretty gnarly. And after I talked to my mom about it, everyone also ran out towards me, and Prestige was still playing, but everyone kind of left and went up to me, and everyone was so worried, and they were just asking me if I was okay. And of course I was just everything's good, it's okay. I was just freaking out because my face was all fat and I didn't even know what it looked like. And then I went to the bathroom and I took a picture, and my face was huge. It felt like I had about 3 golf balls in it, and I was just freaking out. And my mom was telling me that, I might have to go to the hospital, so I started crying because I was just I don't want to go to the hospital. And I ended up having to put a stake to my face for the rest of the night. And my brother actually gave me his shirt to wrap around it, and I just basically held the stake to my face for the rest of the night, trying to get it to kind of the swelling to go down. And everyone kept asking if I was okay, walking up to me, and I really appreciated it. But I still stood there and enjoyed the rest of the show. And then afterwards, again, the guitarist walked up to me and he apologized and, admitted that he felt really bad and he was sorry. And he took me over to his merch table and they gave me a free shirt. So yeah, Projections, I got a, free shirt for them. So that was pretty nice of them. And I don't have it to this day, but it was still a really nice gesture and I really appreciate it. And, it was quite the battle wound and everyone cared. So, it was pretty nice, besides the whole, fact that my face was all swollen and messed up. And it took about a few weeks to heal. And about a few days after it happened, I actually broke a blood vessel in my eye because of it. And I went to the hospital because I've never had one before. And they just gave me some antibiotics and told me to take it easy. And I just rested. And for, a few weeks, I just had a pretty gnarly black eye. And the whole left side of my eye was filled with blood. But, like they said, it took a few weeks and it eventually went down and the blood, was less and less. So eventually, it went back to normal. It took some time, but still just pretty much took it easy. And everyone just wanted me to just lay back for a while, don't go so close to the pits. And I was actually pretty afraid from the pits, for a while. It took about a year and I was just always staying away from them. I was just nervous. But, nowadays I still go to shows and I still stand close to the pit and I know what to do. And I basically I'm a bit more precautious now. Also, about a year and a half later, this year in February 10th to be exact, I got another pretty gnarly injury. And Sworn In and Sours and Sailors, I believe, and This Or the Apocalypse were playing at the Sports Center. And I decided that I would go on stage during Sworn In, one of my favorite bands, and jump off and stage dive. But the thing is, there was only about maybe 20 people or so. I'm not exactly sure, but there wasn't very many to be stage diving. And as soon as I jumped off, everyone kind of just flipped me over instead of passing me. And I instantly ran out of crowd and just fell straight from 6 feet in the air, straight down to my belly, straight flat on the floor. And I tried to use my hand as a shield, and I hit my hand first, and then I just kind of laid there in the middle of the pit. And everyone kind of ran towards me and helped me up, and I stumbled over to the merch table and held my head down to the merch table, and everyone was flipping out, asking if I was okay. Everyone thought it was my mouth and something really, really bad happened. I had a concussion or something because I didn't get up. But I just did not want to talk at that point because my wrist was in too much pain, and everyone just kept talking to me. So I just basically told them that like my mouth is okay, just give me a second to rest because my hand was hurting really bad. And everyone just kind of like let me chill for like a second, and I eventually stumbled over to the drinking fountain and I took a drink of water and I got back in the crowd. And even though my wrist was still hurting, my favorite song, Snake Eyes, was playing. So I was like, I have to go back into the crowd. And I still, you know, rocked out or whatever, you know, like still went to, you know, stood there for like the rest of the show, and I still had a lot of fun. And afterwards it was still hurting and it wasn't too bad. It was pretty bearable. So I still, you know, stayed and gave it a few days. And after a few days, it ended up being my elbow that was causing me pain, and I could not move my elbow in most ways. I could not lay it completely straight and I could not bend it all the way back. So I was in so much pain that I just really wanted to go to the hospital. And eventually, you know, we went to UMC and I talked to the doctor and he told me that my arm was broken. I don't think it was exactly broken. I think it was just my elbow that was fractured. But I ended up getting a splint, and I just had my arm in a splint for a few weeks and had a sling, and I still went to shows. Just took it a little easy, you know, and he told me, you know, to calm down and not to go to shows, but still kind of did it anyways and gave it a rest. And the splint drove me insane because it was so itchy, but finally got it off, and they said like my arm is better. It still hurt a bit, but I just rested and eventually it healed completely. And I still go to shows and I still have fun, and you know, it was just a battle wound. But it's all right. I mean, everybody has their certain injuries, but yeah, that was about it. Just want to say thank you to ScreamRockMosh and thank you to Roger for letting me be a part of this series and letting me share my show injuries with you guys. I really appreciate it. You know, like I said, if you got a few times, you know, battle wounds, it's okay. Still have fun, you know, just lessons learned. Be careful out there. Be careful when moshing. Be careful when you're next to the pit. You know, take it easy. Don't gotta show off. Don't gotta be a boss. Don't gotta go crazy just to be cool. You know, do what you know you can handle, but don't do anything too crazy. And, you know, lessons learned.
I got fucked up. Like, not even 30, like at least 30 seconds, minutes in. Uh, I see me and my friend are all moshing, going around and all that. Then